Hey y'all, this is Eliana with Why Not Redesign. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm super excited to share this redesign with you. I'm going to be using Reticket to unify these two mismatched side tables and give them a beautiful wood finish that's gonna marry them and make them look like they're in the same family. Right now, I feel like they look like distant cousins who don't like each other very much, but the goal is to make them look like two sisters who love one another. Not twins, sisters. I'm also super excited to participate in the Spring Ugly Duckling Challenge hosted by Corey at Desert DIY. This is always so much fun. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is remove those little bun feet on this one. This one is taller, not by much, but it's a little bit taller, and I think it's going to be because it's just a little bit taller to begin with. The legs on this ones have already been removed, and we're working on the other ones, and they're very dirty. Very, very dirty. I've had them for quite some time, and I bought them at different places at different times. However, it is time to make them look like they belong to one another. My husband is helping me by removing this little bun feet, and like I said, this was quite the challenge. These were glued, and they had a dowel in the middle, and just a lot of glue. It took a lot of elbow grease to remove those. Finally. Let's move on to the next. Here I am playing around with the legs that I'm going to be using to replace the old ones to see if they're going to work out, and I think they will. They're taller and different, but they look like they belong on these tables. Here's my husband removing that dowel, and then we're going to replace that with the new legs. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Well, doesn't look that bad. The deciding factor is gonna be this one, but that's the way that I can marry them, right?
Yep.
I actually like those better than the ones they had before. Let's get in there. Gotta drill holes here, and then screw these legs on and glue them like they had them on here. So this one has this over here, so we're gonna drill right here, screw them in, glue everything so that it stays, and I think these are gonna be a better match for this one too. I just think this table is gonna be a little bit taller than this one. So it's about to do that. Let's see. All right, here we go. Oh my God, it's so much higher. Why?
It's the same height as it was before. It didn't change. It's
No, this one was taller.
No.
That one was taller than this one.
This is higher than that. You want to measure it? You can tell.
No.
Well, this one is longer than that is.
If you saw my video last week, you know that I'm working with some restrictions. So since this project was rather small, I brought it home to finish it. I'm going to be cleaning this very thoroughly. One of the tables had been painted black before. As you can see, I basically removed all of that paint prior to even starting the video. And then the other one, the one that looks dark brown right now, had a whole bunch of stickers on it. I'm going to be scuff sanding with my Surf Prep rad pads. I think that's what they're called. They come in different abrasive grades, and I am using the medium to scuff sand everything. They're super easy to use and fantastic when you don't have your Surf Prep sander with you because you're working from home instead of at the shop. But anyway, they are fantastic to use and they do the job very well. I wanted to go ahead and remove all of that glossiness that you see on the tables because I am going to be using several products, including Reticket, but also paint. And so I want to make sure that everything sticks very, very well. Once I finish sanding, I gave everything another good pass with a wet rag and removed all of that dust that was left from the sanding. So I'm going to start applying Reticket, and Reticket is basically a wooden primer. It's a primer that has a lot of wood fibers in it. I don't know the science behind it. I just know that it works. When you apply 2 coats of this magic, it basically leaves the piece feeling like it's wood. And it is super durable. It dries fast and it's very easy to apply. As you can see, I'm applying it just like paint. I flipped the tables upside down and did the legs first because I don't want to miss any spots. And I waited about 30 minutes in between each coat. I did 2 coats on the legs and just waited about 30 minutes and did the second coat. And then I flipped everything upside down again and did the rest. Of course, the project didn't go quite as fast as this, but it is something that can be done in one day. In all, I applied 2 coats of the Reticket to the surface of each of the tables, and I did the paint and the top coat all in the same day. I allowed each of the coats to dry about 2 hours in between the next one. I only did the legs for 30 minutes because they're going to be drying longer anyways. Here I am applying the second coat, and as you can see, it looks much better and richer. I'm going to start applying the paint, and I'm using 2 different colors, both by Lilly Moon Paint, and one is called Rattan and the other one is called Sahara. This is also part of my Mastering Textures series that I am doing. If you saw the video last week, you'll see that I finished one called Denim. Well, this one, I haven't named it yet, but I know that I am going to do a wood look on this one, so it's probably a full wood look. I started with this mustardy looking paint, and there is a method to my madness. It's going to actually be kind of see-through over the next coat that I will be using, which will be a lighter coat. And what I'm trying to do is create depth. As you can see, I am basically crisscrossing when I am applying the paint. So it looks a little bit darker in some areas and lighter in some areas because not each are gonna touch when I finish, but I am going over the entire table the same way. This is to make it uniform and to make sure that I have those highs and lows all over the table. This is how the tables look once they dry, and you can definitely see those highs and those lows, and it's going to be looking exactly how I have it in my brain. So far, so good, y'all. Now I'm going to be using the light paint. And this one I have mixed about 20% with water to dilute it a little bit and make it lighter, make it more transparent. And I am using the same system that I did before, the crisscross. But I'm doing very short strokes with the paintbrush, as you can see. I'm also going a little bit slower to make sure that I don't leave very much space in between the strokes and as much faux texture is what I would call it, as I did when I did the darker color. You want it to look all uniform, and if you have to mix more paint, make sure that you try to use the same ratio. I am really using the paint by pumping some of the spray that I have in my sprayer bottle, so I know exactly how many pumps I put on each time, and so it's looking the same. You can also do a second coat or go over it a little bit if you feel that it's lighter areas, but you definitely want it to look uniform so that when it dries, it looks exactly like that, uniform. Doing textures takes a lot of work. It takes knowledge, it takes more product, it takes more time, but it definitely takes a lot of practice. Don't be scared. You have to get started at some point, and you have to get started with something. So pick something that you don't mind maybe messing up the first time in case you feel like that's what you're going to do, or just go for it. It doesn't have to be something that is perfect, and that is the best advice I can give you. Here's how the tables look like after they are dry, but before I apply the top coat. The top coat is actually going to deepen everything even more. It's going to make it look even more alive, if you will. It just kind of brings it all alive. I am using a satin top coat, and I'm doing one coat because there is another thing that I'm going to be doing on top of just that paint, and it is glaze. Glazing is not something that should be scary to do. It's not as hard. It's apply, remove, make sure that it looks the way that you like it. This is the glaze that I'm going to be using. I use two different types, two different brands, and I combined it to make this milk chocolate color that I wanted because I didn't want it to be too brown or too light because I wouldn't see it exactly. So mixed it, and as you can see, I'm applying it all over. Then you grab a rag and then you remove what you don't want. With the brush that you're applying, I always like to keep it on the side. I don't put it right back into the glaze. I keep it on the side, and I use it to basically dry brush and create even more texture. You can create like little lines, if you will, imitate wood or imitate anything. Go over it on the sides and make some little darker lines around the table like I did in this case. You can see right there all the little things that I did, and you'll see more later, but right here I imitated wood by just making some lines. I put all the glaze all over the place. It's all over on both tables, but it creates a lot of depth and they look really good. Here's what's left of the glaze. As you can see, I didn't use very much of it. Let's remember what these two look like. They look like distant cousins who needed to be sisters, and now I think they look like pretty close sisters. They look stunning with their matching legs and realistic wood lines. The project just goes to show that with a little creativity and the right products, you can definitely transform any piece of furniture into something special. I definitely enhanced the depth and texture of the wood finish by applying that glaze, and I think it really brings out the details and gives the tables a very rich, aged look. So what do you think? Do they look like sisters now? I think so. As a reminder, I was part of the Spring Ugly Duckling Challenge hosted by Corey, and all of the videos that of all the folks that are participating are in the description below. Please make sure that you go and watch them because they are going to be fabulous. As always, don't forget to subscribe. It's totally free, y'all, and it helps me keep going with my little channel. I hope that you enjoyed watching this furniture makeover as much as I enjoyed creating it. Make sure that you leave me a like, a comment, and again, subscribe for more DIY projects and more furniture transformations. I really thank you for your time. See you soon. Bye.